listening party.
Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to the greatest show on podcast. I'm your host, Lee.
What else?
AKA Southside Lee on IG.
What else?
And I'm joined by my partner in pod.
Earlington Agustas the Great.
AKA
your baby mama's baby daddy.
AKA
your auntie's favorite DA.
AKA
2 pokes in the stroke. And we are
3ThePodWay. Chumps.
Your success took a shot. What are you gonna do now? How are you gonna kill it? You gonna become unsuccessful?
You goddamn right. Let's give it up for him.
Yo! Sesly Bwoi! Rastafari! Bedroom bully! CRC legend! Yeah! Yo! Wagwan, my youth! Got us! Hey, I just freestyled that whole thing.
I know. I guess, I seen.
I knew I was messing up.
Right.
When Carlisle did his own what? I was like, oh shit, that's my part. My bad.
That is usually your line.
My bad,
you
Bridget.
kick the person on the table like,
yo,
come on, man. What you doing?
Your lines, come on.
Can't forget your lines.
My bad.
Hey, a word from our sponsors.
Follow 3ThePodWay on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Chumps.
Sounds so beautiful, don't you agree? Hey, before we get into anything, anything serious, so earlier today, you and I were having a conversation, and something you did just really offended me and rubbed me the wrong way.
I do that all day.
Right. Before you actually began your conversation with me, you started it with you said, "Hey, I'm an adult, and I'm very prideful. Don't start a conversation with me with hey."
You like I keep.
It was the way you said it.
Like, hey.
Yeah.
I was too happy.
Real jolly.
You were entirely too happy
to speak to
and
you.
I didn't like it. It made me uncomfortable. So let's make sure that doesn't happen again.
All disrespect moving forward.
I understand.
Yeah.
So,
whoa. Since we bringing up violations. Yeah. Let's keep this train going, okay?
Okay.
Your man,
okay.
The voice,
right.
I wish I only knew him as the voice.
And why is that?
Because I caught a visual.
You caught a visual.
He violated to the umpteenth degree.
Talk to me.
Man law statute number 16789.
Okay.
No FaceTime with your chest hairs out.
Oh, he did it.
He had his chesticles out.
Now was his It
was above nip level, but so it's second degree. It's a second degree violation. Like he didn't first degree. First degree is midriff. If you're midriff out, I gotta hang up.
Somebody should hang up. Yeah. Somebody should be mature enough to hang up. Right.
Yeah. Now, and it wasn't because that's premeditated. You know what I mean? Nip level is first degree, but it's not premeditated. But yeah, he violated.
But how did you answer
So
the
I
phone?
saw no. This is not about me. I saw chest like the little dip, the crevice joint, and shoulders. I threw the phone across the room.
That was it.
Yeah.
So let's ask. So let's walk through this. So why did you not have a shirt on?
Because I was getting ready to come record.
Huh? What?
I was getting dressed.
That's your explanation?
He called me and I was I thought it was something important.
No. See, there you go.
That's your explanation.
There you go.
For answering the phone without a shirt on.
This is what offenders do.
I was about to get
No, he's an offender. He called me
with his shirt on.
With his chesties out.
Do I get a sun-kissed soda and a sandwich for this first time he ate?
No. It was Carlisle, his chest hairs, and FaceTime. He violated, dog.
Yeah, it's okay. The fans will speak to you.
I just
about
wanted
your
to be a
violation.
part of Tummy Time we eat.
Nah, don't call me no more. Like, period.
But no, how's your week? How's your week been?
My week's been full of slander, actually.
Oh, is that right? Well, okay, we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you then. Yeah. How's your week been, man?
Man, my week been good, man. I've been chilling, man. We back outside with the kids. I coach baseball, so we finally been outside. Got them on the diamond, so they got used to, throwing the ball around, getting some swings and stuff like that. So I'm just glad they getting to get outside of the house and getting to interact with their teammates again.
I've always wanted to ask. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
I've always wanted to ask: are you the type of coach that gets respect from the kids?
Right.
And what I mean is that did you play?
Yes.
Okay, so you did. What level, if I may ask?
I played all the way up to Babe Ruth League.
Okay.
What's that mean? What's that?
That's post high school.
Okay. All right.
So it's college?
No, it's not college. It's like not necessarily AAU, but it's like a private league outside of county and all that stuff.
So you were on the team?
Yeah, I started.
Oh, okay. So you played.
Yeah. So you have obviously the pedigree to tell these kids that hey, I was a.
Go ahead.
But you do have a pedigree to tell these kids from experience how to play the game.
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't want to put anybody out there. Have you ever witnessed a coach that didn't have the pedigree and how awkward those interactions especially if the kid is good?
Yes.
Right?
I've seen
so
those.
So explain those. How do those interactions go?
Those funny because when the kids see that the coach doesn't know what they're talking about, they look around, right, and look for confirmation and try to see if their teammates is on board, but they not. So they look at their mom and their dad's like, Mom, Dad, well, they're not telling me what to do.
Right.
And it's like, all right, just pack your stuff up. We're going home.
Man, I'll never forget, man, you in basketball practice and you had that coach that clearly has never played. And you can tell by his jumper, like, he has never touched a basketball before. But he's like, hey, what you want to do is you want to get in quadruple threat. Quadruple threat? I thought it was triple. And he's like, yeah, but when you do this, that's the fourth one that they don't talk about. Like, he just starts making up shit.
Terrible.
Right? And it's like, come on, man. We all know better than that. But yeah, okay, that's dope, man. That's dope that you're able to get out there and do that now.
So you said what age are these?
I'm coaching 9U right now.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. So they're not really.
So yeah, that's the struggle. Not necessarily the struggle, but that's where I've been coaching now youth baseball for about 6 or 7 years now.
Wow, you still just they just like do you just never mind. Now it's just you would think you would like is there career progression? Never mind.
This is voluntary.
Oh yeah, cool story, bro.
Cool story, bro.
Tell it
I knew
again.
that was coming. I knew that was coming.
Tell it again.
How was your week?
Yeah, how was your week?
No. It's not about me. This is not about me.
Nope, it's on you.
Nah, it's good. It was we recently released a episode Text.
Right.
And
Text was basically about are you able to still be friends with your
former right bedroom buddy, I think is how Mace worded it, or like an ex, right? Like an ex-girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you into. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, every time, interestingly enough, right, I got a bunch of texts about text. And my comment,
what was the nature of those?
The comment that I
messages?
made about if you've never had sex with that person, is that considered an ex, right?
Right.
Apparently that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Some people felt as if there's this thing called abstinence. I can't even spell abstinence. So
we'll make sure we get that.
That was not in your.
We'll make sure we get that word right here for the people.
And then so apparently some people date and they try to get to know each other without having sex. To build a stronger bond or something like that. Something goofy, but
something along those lines.
Yeah, when I say the flood of texts, the violations that came upon me on my thoughts, I mean, I still stand solid.
I was about to say, so what's your response?
I mean, I respect it, sort of, but I think it's hypocritical, right? Because I feel like 79% of the people in this world aren't virgins after 20, right, or 15, whatever the age is.
And not that you've done any research.
That was a big ass gap, right? Yeah. Right. All these statistics are made up, right? But the women that I've known, or let me backtrack that. Can we edit this one out? The women that I have known over my lifetime,
right?
Whenever people were dating seriously, I mean, they've all had sex at some point, and that was a part of their relationship, right? Or getting to know this person. So I just thought it didn't. I thought it was wrong. They were wrong.
Okay. Do you have any revised thoughts that, from that conversation?
How do I get out of that one?
I don't know. You good. You're good at that, man.
So the question is, can you be friends with an ex?
I think it's definitely each
his own.
To each his own, yes,
Each
and
his
then
own.
to each future relationship is their own. Like whatever I feel like in my stance, I feel like that has to be a conversation.
Yeah,
Right.
you said right?
Yeah, I say it has to a degree though.
Right.
I'm not gonna be friends like, hey, we chopping up. You coming over to the house on Friday? We about to throw some burgers on the grill or whatever. You
Right.
come through and chill. But it's like it has to be certain level of, if it's that type of friendship. But if like obviously X is for a reason, right?
Right.
So if that's the case, and you can be cordial, or if they still in the same vicinity, you have to like in some form or fashion run into them.
Yeah. I mean,
You gotta figure that out.
I think to Dirty Diana's point, right? Like if you have some type of mental connection with them, like that's mental.
That's an adjective, or is that
It's mental and physical connection. Like it's hard.
It's actually one of those adverb nouns.
Yeah. It's hard to break out of that. I do want to highlight two more points, right? One, my homegirl, she said, what if you have a child with this person, right? Or you've been married for 10 plus years. I think Nate touched on it a little bit, but you could break out of that, right?
Okay.
But what if you have a child with this person? You have to maintain some type of friendly relationship in order to, for the benefit of the children. But at that point, I feel like that relationship has elevated past your ex, and that's your ex-husband or ex-baby dad or baby, you know what I mean? So it's a little bit different in my opinion.
You would hope so.
Yeah, and you're doing it for the children, right?
I mean, I guess
because both parties are out of the picture in that sense. Like as far as your perspective and your needs or your wants are out of the picture at that point. The person that's of interest and who's important is the child that you brought into the world, that you both brought into the world. So that's the priority.
But that is one of those situations where people who aren't in that situation and have never been in that situation tend to become very opinionated about something that they have never experienced, and they don't know what that actually feels like. Right. So, okay, definitely some unique.
And then lastly, one of my white homies, that sounded racist, but it's like, no, it can't be racist. One of my best friends is white, right?
I see what you did there.
But one of my white homies, he was saying like, basically he was agreeing with the voice. He was basically like, he thought you could do it. There are obviously some aspects that require, some consideration of your partner, but I think he was in line with you. So you're not alone. You're not one of the only people that could do that.
Shout out to Earl's friend. The persuasion.
I'm sure he calls me his black friend too.
Well, that's cool. I mean, that's y'all. See.
So as we're recording and obviously filming a podcast, one of our shooters decides that now is a good time to open his laptop. So you might have heard that sound bite in the back. He decides that now is the time to open his laptop. So while we're on the subject of shooters, the other shooter,
here we go,
and we'll put his name right here.
He's gonna put his name right there.
He's gonna put his name right
it's
there.
Not our doing.
So
we don't want it.
So I've noticed that again, he's beginning to expand his reach, right? So I walk into the studio today, and he's actually sitting. He's actually sitting at the table.
Oh,
right?
In your spot specifically.
Well, he was literally sitting in this chair, right?
Right.
And I'm not one of those, right? It's not my chair, though it's my chair, right? So he's sitting here, right? And I didn't have an issue with it, right? I see he was testing the levels.
You seem to have an issue with it now.
No, I'm explaining.
Okay.
So he was testing the levels and making sure that the placement for the camera was right. But when he put the headphones down, I noticed that there was a excessive amount of pomade.
That's so.
Did I say something?
He's gonna edit you out.
Did I say something funny?
He's gonna edit you.
There was an excessive amount of Duke wave grease on my headphones.
Which Keller can is that? Is that the yellow joint or the orange?
The orange one.
That's the orange one?
Right.
That's extra wave.
Yeah, it was an excessive amount of Duke wave grease on my headphones. And again, I don't mind him testing the equipment, but
but we wipe it off.
We got a show to do.
Right.
So
respect.
So the moral of the story is
there is no. You can't moral of the story that.
I don't know what the moral of the story is. We're wave caps. I don't know shit.
I don't want to be here.
All right, yeah. So in a turn, right?
Oh, okay. Let's see this.
This week has been so police interactions is still a hot topic. Yeah, still a hot button topic, right?
For sure.
So the Derek, what's his name?
Chauvin, I believe.
Chauvin.
I don't care to know his name.
DC.
So the police officer that was involved in the George Floyd murder, right? I think I'd rather go that route. That trial has now come to an end. The prosecution and the defense have rested. What I find extremely interesting is that you have the audacity and the gall to kneel on a man's neck so carelessly, so cavalier. But now you have a chance to get on the stand and explain it.
Speak your piece.
Right? Yeah. Because you felt justified in the moment. You felt very justified in the moment. So now here's your opportunity to tell the world why you felt like what you did was the way to go. And you chose to invoke the Fifth Amendment.
Well, you know, that was the lawyer play, right?
Coward. No, that's what a coward does.
I take that. Take that explanation.
Because like I said, we stand there with our knees on, or kneel, or whatever you want to call it, on somebody's neck. But now again, you had a perfect time and the opportunity with the world watching, right? To explain yourself. And you take the coward's way out. Clown.
But see, I feel like in that stance, man, like I feel like the nature of that, man, like you gotta have, I don't even know, is there even a rebuttal from the prosecution to even go after him if he invokes the Fifth Amendment? Like once he does that, it's done deal.
Right, yeah, because
like he can get up and walk away.
As the accused, you have the right to invoke the Fifth Amendment to not incriminate yourself.
Dang.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't going to do that.
So right around, and they call it right around the corner. I'm not from Minnesota to know what that means, but right around the corner, from what I understand, is when the Dante Wright incident happened.
Rest in peace.
Right, and from everything that I can gather, right, and again, we're not experts, but again, we just try to compile as much information as we can in a short amount of time to try to present it. The explanation that I get is that apparently the officer thought that her stun gun was her service weapon.
Or vice versa.
Now me.
You got it.
Now me being from the South, right, and handling weapons, there's a certain weight. There's a certain weight to weapons, right?
Right.
And not to say that they don't make lighter weapons these days,
for sure,
right? Because we're aware of that too. But there's a certain weight that comes with it, especially if it's loaded. Exactly. There's a certain weight that comes with it, right? So when and then actually just the actual physical
shape of the weapon.
right?
The color, the weight,
position of the
position.
Go ahead.
Now you also have this weapon in front of you, so it's in your line of sight.
You got.
It befuddles me that this mistake was made, right? So have y'all heard this story or this defense?
Yeah,
have y'all heard this?
I heard it.
Yeah, I think everyone's.
So what do you think about that?
BS. Yeah. You know, the card game I call BS.
Right.
Because like there's no way that you can even, I mean, granted, people gonna say you in the heat of the moment, you know, your endorphins are running, you're gonna just interact, but you're trained as a peace officer to handle certain type of situations.
Right.
Professionally trained.
Right.
You go through academy for a reason.
Right.
Is that enough?
Exactly. And that goes to the other question about talking about sending these officers back for periodic trainings to get recertified in certain aspects of their job. But you know what you can't train against?
You can't train against that too, but you can't train it. You can't train against fear. Because you don't know what's going to trigger your fear. You have in that moment, adrenaline is running, and what is it? Fight or flight, right?
I understand that.
You can put people in extremely high pressure situations all day that are still controlled, right? And the element of your brain says, even though this is a frantic situation, I know it's controlled.
No, I think that's bullshit, right?
I'm talking about your training.
Yeah,
your training, it's a frantic situation, but it's controlled, and the mind knows that. Whereas now you're on the street, and this situation happens, and now you just got to figure it out.
Well, I think the reason, not attacking you personally, but I just think that's bullshit because I think the expectation for everyday citizens when guns are drawn in their face is that they react calmly, obey commands, and respond as if they've been in that situation before, right?
Right.
And
someone who goes through some form of tactical training, I'm assuming simulations of some sort, to be in these situations, has the upper hand, has assistance.
Right.
They don't have that excuse. Right. Because if I don't have that excuse as a normal citizen, right, I am supposed to respond accordingly, then they should be able to respond accordingly.
Because to echo off of what he said, because I understand the fact that once you're put in that position, granted, like you said, it's a controlled environment when you're training, right? But when you're in a situation where you have to resort back to your training, that's the purpose of the training. And I'm saying that it's going to always click 100% of the time. Obviously, you have your follies here and there, but if you practice, like I mean, and correct me, I don't want to like speak on things I don't know. I'm not a SWAT officer or anything like that. I'm just speaking like I feel like SWAT officers, they train a lot. They train for intense situations. Right. But I think if you're saying peace officers are always engaging in those type of situations, then they need to be training in those type of environments more often.
But I think the same.
Are you saying police or peace?
Peace officers, because technically, just community. I'm sorry, police officers.
But hearing that word, even like I'm like, why?
That's technically what they are. Like they're community officers.
No, you're right. But I
think the
that
saying
sounds weird even hearing it.
But I think the saying that applies to boxing applies to these type of situations. Everybody has a plan
till you get hit.
Till you get hit. Right? Training is training until you are in a what am I gonna do now situation.
But
you
get hit in your mouth with that right hook enough, then you're gonna see it coming. So if you're training enough for a certain, I'm saying not every situation is the same, but I'm saying like in essence of the totality of the situation, I think you have to better prepare yourself for especially, and that's what, and when we were discussing earlier, like like I said, I'm not an officer, right? So I don't know what the details of the training is, but I'm thinking I would assume that you're taught to get control of the situation at forehand, like in the beginning. Right. You have control of the situation, and like you said, if you have backup, I mean, like I said, I wasn't there. I don't know how the situation turned out, whatever the case is. But hindsight is always. But
we all can agree that it would depend on what type of energy you're walking into that room with.
Exactly.
Too,
yeah.
Right. Because everything's going to start from there.
Exactly.
Right. And that could be on both sides, but in these situations, obviously the officers have the upper hand as far as calming the situation down or controlling setting the tone. Let's call it setting the tone, right?
Exactly.
So that brings us to our next point on this topic, right? So George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Fernando Castile, Mike Brown. I don't want to be disrespectful and leave anybody out. Freddie Gray, right? Dante, right? Yeah. So where I'm going with that by saying these names is this. As a African American, it should be understood that there is a certain level of anxiety now instilled in all of us. Because again, we are visually seeing all these actions play out, right? So with that being said, you have a black Army officer in the middle of nowhere, Virginia, to most of us, right? No disrespect to that city, but most of us don't know about that city or that county or whatever it was, right? Exactly. That has this instilled anxiety. He sees lights. He's on a back road in Virginia, and he says, what we're all told, if you're in a area that's not well lit, you keep driving until you reach a safe space, not only for you, but also for the officers, right? So that everyone can feel
safe,
some level of comfort in the fact that we are in an open area and we can all see each other and we're all comfortable, right? Exactly. As comfortable as we can be.
Yeah.
So he does this. As he's approached now, he's being approached as though he led them on a high-speed chase. Wow. He has both his hands visible, and he's clearly communicating his stance.
Very calmly, though.
Right? Very calmly at the time,
super
right?
calm, bro.
So now he's approached by this officer who's approaching with aggression.
Right.
Verbal aggression, and he, if I'm not mistaken, he had his guns drawn.
Both of them had their guns drawn.
Both of them had their guns drawn. He's constantly yelling commands to which the officer that's in the car, the black Army officer, is responding to these commands, letting him know, or he's asking for clarification, right? He's not demanding clarification. He's literally asking for clarification. Meanwhile, while constantly stating his position, my hands are up, and I'm just trying to get clarification. Now I'm paraphrasing, right? But he's looking for clarification. Somehow or another, this escalates into,
you're going to ride the lightning.
Right. I'm going to pepper spray you. And while you're have any of you ever been pepper sprayed before?
No.
So I have, right?
It's not fun. It's not fun.
You can, but you can't do something while you're being pepper sprayed because your whole body is focused on what's going on with your eyes at this moment, right? Okay. And that's what it's designed to do, right? It's designed to debilitate.
Right.
And now he's supposed to reach across with his offhand to open the door to get out after being pepper sprayed. It's just not realistic. So now, on top of this situation being almost a dummy mission because you did what you thought was right, which is going left, you're now being asked to perform an act that you physically feel like you can't, right? And reaching, if pulling over in this way has led to this,
right? Reaching is
going to get me
without
killed,
a death sentence,
right? And yet it still went this way, right? And there was still this level of justification. What are we supposed to do, right? Well, I didn't mean to make this heavy like that, but I mean, what are we? I
think the most striking thing for me is my man was in full uniform, right? Like, unless he just really liked shopping at the Salvation Army or whatever, the duty store, like, and he's explaining to you
and he said
who he is, right? Like, as a sign of respect, or that's something that this country preaches. Like, you would think that will de-escalate the situation a little bit. You know what I mean? Right. But it seemed it didn't matter, right? So,
they went as far as to ask him. They went as far as to ask him what is his rank, right? And for those of you who have either been in the military or been exposed to the military, that's a very telling question, right? Because I'm gonna draw a parallel. So the same individuals that will justify this cop's actions are the same individuals, for the most part, I believe, right? My opinion is that are the same individuals that will say that Colin Kaepernick kneeling was disrespecting the flag in the military. But this man can disrespect the flag that this man is sworn to protect and defend, and the uniform that he wears,
that he was wearing,
and he's justified in that. Somehow that's different.
That is the definition of he is the military standing right here in your face. He's the flag in your face.
Right.
Everything that you care about.
And you asked a question, got the answer, and you know what you said by your actions? It didn't matter either way. He told him he was an officer, because to that individual who's asking that question, and those who know the military structure, him asking that question was supposed to lead to, if you're an officer, there's a certain level of respect that I'm going to offer you as a result of you being an officer. And his response was, it didn't matter.
Right.
Because he told him he was an officer, and he understood that. And he still acted the way that he acted anyway. So there is it just doesn't seem to be a way to operate now. And when you don't have order on either side, what do you get? Chaos. You get pure chaos, because now it's a roll of the dice every time.
Yeah, because there's no way to win, right? And
because everybody now is anticipating what might happen, right? They're anticipating you potentially getting out of pocket. You're anticipating them potentially pepper spraying you, even though you pulled over, even though you got your hands up. Chaos. Yeah. Somebody has to establish a line, man. And I don't know how that works, but somebody has to establish a line at some point.
I agree.
No.
I gotta let Malcolm Lee go in this race. I don't know.
Nah, my bad.
I agree.
No.
Amen.
I'm just passionate about it.
My
It's definitely factual. Like I said, if I could add anything to that, the only thing I would say that for us black men living in this country, waking up every day and leaving our abode, our house, wherever we live, rest our head at night to go do anything, even if it's just to get gas. Bro. Like it's like, bro, it's anxiety because you don't know. You can turn too quick.
Yeah, anything.
Lights come on, your heart jumping, and you nervous and you frantic. Like you said, in those situations, you don't know how you're gonna act.
Right.
So you frantic and like, oh my God, you're moving too much. Guns drawn automatically because they fear for their life. It's a risky situation for us out here, bro. Every day.
So another part of this, right, is the power of privilege, right? So we talked about you actually sent over the picture of the officer who shot Dante Wright. Her house.
Oh, right.
What does her house look like today,
bro?
Fort Knox.
Yeah, but how about like literally
how fast?
Right. Yeah. How fast did they throw that up?
After the
Well, I'm sorry. People may not know what we're talking about.
Let's paint a picture, right? So the officer that killed Dante Wright, her home now has like cinder blocks, barriers. It also has let's say
10-foot fences, 6
to 10 foot chain link fence. Police outside the home. Within the barricade, like the barrier, there's a police car within the home. So I think we're gonna get the image up there. But yeah, so basically it's more protected than the Capitol building was back in January. Flat out, right?
All jokes aside,
the expectation of retaliation is way higher here than what they put, the defense that they put on the U.S. Capitol building, right? This lady's home is literally barricaded, no way in, no way out, and it's kind of weird because I saw a news story. One of the neighbors, I get it, right? She was like, well, it brings more attention to it than anything, you know what I mean? Like because now that her house is barricaded, it's like, well, that's the house of the cop that shot Dante Wright. I believe that's his name. I hope I'm not messing that up. But yeah, it's interesting the effort that went into protecting her home.
So
the property versus the person.
So speaking of property, so there's a young black man, I believe. What was the state? The state is missing me. I'm sorry. But there's a young black man walking down the street, and this Army sergeant. So somebody could look that up to see what state he was in.
I was going to throw a shot at y'all, but I feel like it's a Carolina or Virginia thing. It's got to be the South.
I think it was one of the Carolinas. The Army sergeant
give me South Carolina
that stopped
vibes.
the black guy on the sidewalk and was telling him that he did
listening.
South Carolina. Okay, yeah. South Carolina.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely give me South Carolina vibes.
So he stopped this young man on the sidewalk and in essence asked him where was he going.
Yeah,
he made
it was more to it,
right.
but ultimately that's what the altercation led to that, right? Yeah,
right. And he does what he does, right?
South Carolina.
Yeah, it was
very
apparent. Like,
and this story yields all kinds of attention, right? But then the neighborhood decided to throw a block party in his front yard.
Well, I don't even think it was the neighborhood, but yeah, there was protesters for sure.
Hey, let's give it up for him.
Yeah. And maybe,
hey, listen.
In hindsight, maybe that was why they barricaded that one cop's house like that, because they were like, all right, we can't have the same thing. But yeah, they protested in front of.
So what made it funny was that the first day I saw one man in the driveway with a megaphone. The next day
it was 40 people.
It was 50, 60 people, cars. Yeah. It was everything outside. And I'm gonna tell you what I enjoyed about that. That's the type of support that we as a community should have for each other all the time. Right. We shouldn't have to wait until a uncomfortable or a tragic situation happens before we unite that way. Because if we moved that way, he would have never felt comfortable approaching that young man like that.
Right.
He would have assumed he wasn't alone. But the assumption is that he's by himself.
I could take advantage of this.
I could take advantage of him because I'm bigger and he's out here by himself. But if he had any indication that that neighborhood was behind that kid, right, or that there was a community lurking behind this kid, he wouldn't have approached him that way, and he wouldn't have had that level of aggression.
What I will say,
that's just my 2 cents.
I will say this, right? Like with these things, right? Like that they set the tone, right? This will happen again, ultimately, right? Sadly, it will happen again.
Right. They'll just ensure there's no cameras rolling.
But there will be those same repercussions, right? Like now the stage has been set. The tone has been set. You violate, the community gets behind this person, right? And sad to say, right? There's only but so much people could take, right? So yeah, we're going to protest in front of your house the next day. But I guarantee you keep that same energy, yeah, it's gonna escalate.
With a different energy.
And realize you were the reason that this started, and this is how it now ends, right? So,
and as we saw
how you treat people,
and as we saw with the Capitol, to your point, it's something I literally just thought about as you're saying it. So, as this group assembles, there is the potential for another group, to now feel as though they need to assemble.
Yeah, that's true.
All because somebody decided that they were going to make it their point to tell someone where they belonged versus where they didn't. And considering that the guy literally just moved in that neighborhood March of 2020, he's new to the neighborhood. He doesn't own anything, right? He doesn't even have the, well, I've been here 10, 15 years thing. This is just, again, the power of privilege leads you to believe that you don't just own what you paid for. I own everything that I can see.
You don't belong here. Get out of here.
I own everything that I can see and everything within his reach.
Right.
So I don't know what I'm saying about that other than...
What you're saying is go get y'all gun licenses, man, legally.
But he did get arrested. Hey, let's give it up for that.
Protect yourself. All right, we good? We got more?
No.
You sure?
Well, I mean, for information's sake, because we like to educate.
Okay, let's do that.
The officer that shot Mr. Blake quietly returned to duty.
Low key though.
Right.
And
quietly. Yeah.
Hold on. Which one? Which kid?
That's
shot?
the one that
Damn, listen to me.
Yeah.
Which person was this?
Mr. Blake.
The one. It's sad.
He got shot 7 times, paralyzed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. That one.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that one.
The officer returned to duty.
I didn't know that.
Quietly. Right? What does that say? I'm just gonna leave it. I'm open ended. He returned to duty.
That's heavy.
Right. So.
Wow. Speechless.
Again.
Silent speak. I'm speechless. I didn't know that.
Right. So put that into context, right? So let's just turn a corner. So vaccines.
Wow.
Vaccines are still a hot topic, right?
Y'all get that Johnson & Johnson?
Nah, that JJ, nah, I don't know.
So how many do we have right now? We got Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, 3 packs.
Those are the 3, right?
Yeah, the one and done, literally, with Johnson & Johnson.
Okay.
Allegedly, right? The 2-dose Pfizer, and then the 2-dose Moderna. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Moderna. Yeah. So what is hey, we'll put that right there. So what has been said about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine?
Well, apparently, in women who are of like childbirthing age, I think, there have been a few cases of blood clots, right? And I made a joke about it. I apologize, but I think one lady did. She did die as a result, but
as a result of her blood clots,
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, don't quote me. I'm just a guy talking on the mic. So, but yeah, ultimately, right? Like, that's obviously a life-threatening situation,
right?
And this vaccine is supposed to be helping people, but I've heard they since like shut that one down.
But that's everybody's fear with all these vaccines, though. Like, because I feel like even though they're pushing it on everybody, and I feel like the whole ploy of advertisement and everything, getting the celebrities to push it, like, hey, and your radio station is pushing, hey, go get your vaccine, man, go do it. But all of those like research and materials, like those junks aren't founded. Like they didn't account for everything. In this case in point, right? Because like I said, and they were saying Johnson & Johnson was not to
I think it was just convenient, right?
But it was convenient because it was one and done.
Right.
So everybody's like, "Oh, I want that J&J."
Right.
That joint was selling, like not selling out, but like that joint was going quick because everybody wanted. I just want to go one time and get it done and get it over with. But like in that case, like I knew this type of situation was going to happen. Like certain stuff.
Wouldn't they have to take all of them?
But that's the thing. That's why they
not made of the same stuff.
That's in essence.
I'm just asking because like if it's targeting the same thing, they all should have some of the same components, right?
And
I see what you're saying.
You know what
I mean? Yeah,
I feel like some of the vaccines target certain variants of the disease. Because I think Pfizer and Moderna target like the new variants.
Okay,
because remember they dropped the new variant like a year ago, like a couple months ago that came
I'm not
from
going to pretend to know.
I don't know where, but from somewhere not here.
Here's what I think is important. I think it's important to relay that before you decide to take the vaccine, if you decide to take it, is that you either are seen by a doctor first, and you understand what your current health situation is before you actually decide to take the vaccine. Because again, this is the test case. Right, everyone now is the test case. You are the research bed. You're the beta, right? So with that being said, though they're not forcing it or making it a prerequisite, I think it's incumbent upon anyone who decides to take it. I think you should probably, and this is just a suggestion, to go see a medical professional first and have a reasonable idea of what your current health situation is and the potential for what could happen in taking this vaccine. Now, no one's gonna know ultimately, but I mean, I think again, put yourself in the best position to be okay after taking a vaccine.
I think we're all living in that shock phase right now because I feel like everybody's, oh my gosh, this is a new disease that we don't know about. So everybody's like, I need to get this.
No, so what they're doing is they're dangling the carrot, right? If you want to go to sporting events in 2022. If you want to travel in 2022,
is that
if you want to attend medium gatherings, right? Then this is going to be part of that makeup. Have you been vaccinated? It's going to be those who are vaccinated and the others, which is interestingly enough created a black market for vaccination cards.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm about to grab me one.
Oh wow!
See if I can flip some of them. Yeah.
He's joking, by the way.
We don't know this guy.
Am I?
Look,
I got what y'all need.
Hey, yo, Mark.
I got what y'all need.
Hey, but look, we wanted to also just throw a little commercial out there. We do have 3ThePodWay merch.
Oh yeah, we got drip for sale.
Yeah, go ahead, talk to him.
Oh, I think what's the slogan? Yeah, let me get some of that. What is the slogan? We keep the streets wet.
Shout out to our shooters.
We got drip for sale.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
I don't know what the streets being wet have to do. Oh, because of the
drip.
All right,
the drip for
I see
sale.
what you did.
Blessings came.
As I was saying it, I see what you did.
We got some. We got dad hats. We got tees. We got
hoodies.
So yeah. Oh yeah. I guess we just slide all this out.
But for real, man, just support, man. Rock the merch.
I hope you can see that. But yeah, we got some. We got hats, hoodies, tees, dad hats, fitted caps. You see this one. So yeah, if you support the brand, you support the podcast. Slide in our DMs. It's the only time I'm gonna ask somebody to slide in my DMs
publicly.
But slide in the DMs. We'll work something out. I'll figure something out with you. We gonna keep it wet. Drip for sale. Remember?
No, no. If you gonna holler at me on the YouTube. It's okay.
You know what I think about? It's funny you say that, right? It's funny you say that because I think about we never ask the audience to like and subscribe, which is very important.
Sure,
right?
we do.
Well, the kids do, right?
Yeah.
But we should ask, right? Mm-hmm. Hit the like button.
We
hit the notification bell.
Strong
I always hear YouTubers say that.
Hit the like button, like and subscribe.
Yeah, so hit the joint.
Hit the joint down
there. Where is it though?
It's
it's
to the right, left.
Yeah,
up.
like and subscribe. Hit the buttons. Tell a friend. I think that's really what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's
Each one
like
tell
people
one, man.
enjoy it, but they're enjoying it to themselves. Like, why wouldn't you share this?
Right.
You share every show on FX that you watch.
You share your Netflix password.
Hey,
Right,
that's
right.
why they upped the joint.
Share
They're
your
like $20
podcast,
now.
right? Real talk.
Right.
That's facts. So yeah, man. Hit us up, DM, and we work out a nice package for y'all. We ship, we drop off, we do everything. So yeah.
But truth be told, though, we appreciate y'all for real, for
Yeah, for
liking
real.
and subscribing, just following us on our journey, man. Hey, we appreciate y'all.
Yeah, this is a T too. I forgot. I got this one. We got a rack of different T-shirts. So I'm gonna put it together nicely, and we walk through the package.
Yeah. So do you want to end this podcast with the way that you started the conversation with me earlier?
Whoa.
Hey, this is Earlington Agustas the Great from 3ThePodWay. I just want to inform you guys that we now have merchandise for sale. So slide in our DMs at the number 3, the THE Podway, PODWAY. And we'll get that merch out to you right away.
Let's give it up for him. Hey, voice. You got anything to?
Just go out there, be great, man. Love on each other, man. Appreciate each other, man, and just keep prayers up.
Love on each other. Okay, I like that.
Hey, before we depart,
Follow 3ThePodWay on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Chumps.
3ThePodWay.
Sounds beautiful.